tasting I had in my office a little over a year ago. It was a blind tasting, and I came across the wine, and I really loved it. And Mary Ann walked by my desk, and I said, "You want to taste the wine of the year?" She says, "Oh, there he goes again." And I just thought, this wine has so much going for it. It's got, it's become the kind of the quintessential California modern style, I call it. It's got the physiological ripeness. It's got the signature flavors and depth and weight and earthiness of Napa Valley. So Randy's going to tell us about how he goes about it, who inspired him, who helped him. So please welcome Randy Lewis and our Wine of the Year.
Thank you very much. As many of you know, this has been a very bittersweet year for me. We got Wine of the Year, and I lost my wife, partner, best friend when I lost Debbie to cancer in January. This is an amazing honor. We're all proud, of course, at the winery, not puff our chest out proud, because we're representing Napa Valley as well as just Lewis Cellars. So it's very exciting to be up here. It's an award that I never dreamed would happen. I was kind of hoping for 100 points.
Next time. Maybe.
Basically, we have our own winery for quite a while now, 15 years, so we're able to do stuff we weren't able to do with Helen. But the concept, pushing the grape, especially red. A Chardonnay doesn't need to be pushed as far because it doesn't have tannin. We're not looking for alcohol, fruit. You're looking for mature tannins. And this wine's got tannins, of course, but hopefully it's not ripping your mouth out. I think it's pretty nice. And that's the last thing you have to wait for. And of course, you're picking at higher bricks than you'd like to. It's more of a challenge in the fermenter, et cetera, et cetera. But it's what we did with Helen and what we've done ever since. Some famous winemaker, obviously not me, said a wine has to have fruit on the finish. And I think when we're doing our blend tastings, when I'm just drinking wine, Dennis writes our newsletters. So, he comes up with all the complex characters and what it tastes like out, whatever. Yeah. I just look, I just look for what I enjoy. And what I enjoy is a beginning, a middle, and a finish. I know this sounds kind of stupid, but if there's not a beginning, then you don't even want to get into the wine, right? So it better have kind of a sexy entry. Hopefully, with our wines, it's going to be fruit, oak, fun stuff. And then the mid for me is the most important part, because that's what a wine is. The viscosity, the way it layers in your mouth. But then, if it doesn't have fruit on the finish, you're just kind of left like, oops. So, yeah. So I know it sounds simple, but I think those three things are what wine is really kind of all about. Obviously, you want complexity in there as well, not just simple fruit. But, you can get, obviously, we're growing great fruit in California.
Tell us a little bit about how you make this wine, where the grapes come from. And there's a lot of ways to achieve complexity from a single vineyard, but even a single vineyard has different spots that give different characteristics to the wine. And one can assemble different vineyards and put them together in a wine. And this wine is from more than one vineyard.
We found vineyard, we found bare land, people planted for us. We run the vineyard. We decide every aspect of the vineyard. Rootstock, clone, picking, lateral removal, leafing, blah, blah, of course, fruit load. Secondly, I like the analogy of racing, because you can take the greatest grapes in the world, just like you can take the greatest Indy car in the world and run it into the wall at 220 miles an hour, and it's over. So it takes a team. It takes picking it correctly. It takes a team. We have an amazing team.
So anyone who drives a car at the Indy 500 wants to win. And I asked Randy one day, I said, well, why didn't you ever win? He said, well, I never really had the car. But now he's got the car, he's got the grapes and the wine, so he's our champion.
Yeah. The reason I'm here tonight, number one wine, is because of Debbie Lewis. There wouldn't be a Lewis Cellars without Debbie Lewis. She was the heart and soul of this winery, so I'd like us all to raise the glass to Deb.